Right, and you're welcome back still here on Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV. So let me tell you what exactly the Joseph S. Japan Distinguished Lecture is all about. And the lecture was instituted and hosted by the Harvard University Center for African Studies and the executive chairman of the AGYEPONG Group of Companies, Dr. Joseph S. Japan, in the year 2020 for his sterling contribution and impact to the promotion of public health in Africa. The inaugural lecture was delivered by Dr. John Inkenkanson, Director of the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention under the African Union, with a call on African leaders and health experts for a new public health order in Africa that looks at the totality of the dynamics of the public health delivery here in Africa. And I've been joined in studio by two gentlemen, Professor Kwesi Topi. He is Dean of the School of Public Health, University of Ghana, and also Professor Richmond Ayiti, School of Public Health, and member of the Planning Committee for the 2023 JS Japan Distinguished Lecture here in the studio with me on Good Afternoon Ghana. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us. Let me begin with you, Professor Kwesi Topi. We've given a highlight of what exactly the lecture is about, but give me more details. What are we to expect from this?
So, as you said, the distinguished lecture, that Joseph S. Japan Distinguished Lectureship, actually is established and then hosted by the Harvard University Center for African Studies. So we've had a number of lectures, the first one, and then there was the second one, and this is the third. So for the third one, we've had discussions with the Harvard University, the center, and then also, given that the University of Ghana is also celebrating its 75th anniversary, we felt that it would be very important to have the third lecture here in Ghana, particularly when the Joseph S. Japan is Ghanaian. So the third lecture will be held here in Ghana, at the University of Ghana, at the City Conference Center. Now, the theme for the talk is combating non-communicable diseases in Africa. And this is very critical because Africa is at a crossroads. And if you look at the causes of mortality in the Africa region, non-communicable diseases is basically on the rise. So it's important that we use this opportunity to showcase its importance and what can be done to actually reduce the mortality associated with it.
I'll come back to, but let me go to Professor Richmond Ayiti. Welcome to our studios, please.
Thank you.
I want to find out, as we go into this, he's mentioned what we are to expect and all that, and the communication that is supposed to be sent out there. From your point of view, what should Ghana be expecting? A third time being held in Accra, Ghana?
Thank you. So when we talk about non-communicable diseases, it's basically an invisible epidemic that is happening because there are so many people who are living with it, those who are directly affected by it, but there are also the families who are dealing with it more or less on their own. And sometimes they don't understand why it's happening. In Ghana and in many parts of Africa, then they will start attributing all kinds of spiritual meaning. So this is our own way of saying, let's bring the conversation to the people. So we are here to let you know that this is happening. It's not just an academic exercise. We want people to participate in this conversation. We are hoping that maybe this will contribute to a conversation on this where people start asking, what at all is this non-communicable diseases? How does it affect me? How does it affect my family, my neighbors? What can I do about it? And there's a lot that people can do about it, and we can have that conversation.
Now, it makes me want to wonder, you speak of how we tend to spiritualize almost every single health issue in the country. And so this is to let people know that, listen, it goes beyond that. As we talk about this lecture, what are we to expect to see, make a speech on the day? Are we to see Joseph S. Japan on stage speaking? Is it possible? Is that possible?
We wish we can put him there. But I think if you ask those who have lived with the condition, I'm sure there are lots of things people have to say, but there are people who have worked on this area. So one of our distinguished Ghanaian people who have worked in this area. Professor Peter Lamte, he is the one who is going to give this lecture. And he's worked in this area for many, many, many years.
Right.
You know, so he's going to tell us what the situation is currently, and then let us all be able to now start reflecting on it, both from the disease angle, but I'm sure he's also going to touch on the health system's capacity to be able to deal with this. I mean, all the challenges we've had in the last 2 or 3 years, everything comes back to what can the health system do. You know? So hopefully that conversation, I'm looking really forward to it, that we'll be able to start having a conversation. What can we do, but what can the health system also do, so that we have that, complementary kind of engagement going on between the people and those of us who are at the forefront of providing the kind of support that people.
I want to find out why we chose the University of Ghana for this particular lecture, but I'll come to that. So if you're wondering who Professor Peter Lamte is, he's a global NCD professor at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine and President Emeritus FHI 360 as keynote speaker for the event. Here, as we speak, when we talk about just upon distinguished lectures. Why the University of Ghana? Is it part of the 75th anniversary celebration?
So maybe before that, I think in addition to that, we also have Dr. William Bosu from the West African Health Organization.
Right.
He's also been involved in the non-communicable disease programming here in Ghana and outside. Then we have, we've assembled a panel of discussants. We have Dr. Ifuakomi. She is actually the acting program manager for the non-communicable diseases in the Ghana Health Service.
Right.
Yes, and then we have James Amwa. He is with the Ghana Public Health Association. And then, NCDs also covers mental health conditions. So we have Dr. Jifa Atta, who would also cover that aspect of the non-communicable disease. And then finally, we have a colleague from RIPS, that's within the University of Ghana, that's Dr. Fideli Adake. So we really have good resources available to be able to do justice to the subject.
Right.
But in terms of the University of Ghana, I would say that first and foremost, the University of Ghana is 75 years old. And I think this is extremely important for us as the university. And we really want to be at the forefront of such an important discussion. And then, of course, given that Mr. AGYEPONG is also Ghanaian, and with our collaborations with Harvard Center for African Studies, then it actually all fell into place to actually have the third lecture here in Ghana, and in Ghana, University of Ghana.
And like I asked earlier, are we to see him there? Is he going to be speaking on the day of the event?
No, he will not speak. No, they would have, basically, we brought in experts in the area. I mean, it's a distinguished lecture. It is in his honor, so other people will do the job.
Other people do. I like that. But if I should come, aside the speeches or lecture I'm going to be listening to, are there going to be any side attractions?
Well,
maybe the sale of medicines.
The thing is, you would have some of the big names who are working in the area of health. Right. And so that interaction also creates opportunity for people who are working in that area to come together. There are people who are working in different parts of the country looking at NCDs. And NCDs is a big area. It has so many dimensions to it. So I think we don't usually have those kinds of meetings where you bring people together and have a conversation around it. So for me, I think that's the highlight of this. These things is not just talk. It is also the fact that people really engage their lives in it. That's really what I think.
And I think also, to add, because you see here, you have academia, you have people who practice, then you have people in industry. So basically, it's an intersection. And I think behind the main discussions, there will be small talks on how, as a country, we can move this agenda forward. And then I think everybody, depending on the sector that you belong to, will have to play a role.
Do you have to pay before I get entry?
No, it's free.
Free?
It's free.
When is it happening? Give me the dates, please.
Yes.
So
it's 28th, that's of this month, 28th June, at 5 p.m. at the CD Conference Center in the University of Ghana.
28th June.
Yes.
And today is 26th.
Yes, so
That
that's
is about
Wednesday.
3 days to go.
yeah, Wednesday,
Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
5 p.m.
Yeah.
CD Conference Center in the University of Ghana, and it's free.
And it's free.
It's a holiday,
Yeah.
but it's 5 p.m. So we are hoping
Yeah.
that everybody will be able to
Yeah.
attend. Yeah.
The good thing is nobody's rushing to work. on
Exactly.
Friday.
And I mean, it's free.
Yes.
You don't have to pay anything to get in there. So just
Exactly.
go listen to some
Yes.
speeches about health and how properly Africa can manage our health issues. From building of infrastructure to logistics to
Yes, exactly.
medicines and all that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Before you go, give me one reason why I should be there. Aside all the speeches you mentioned, give me something extraordinary. Why should I be there in the first place?
Okay, I will start. I mean, everywhere you go, people will talk about the fact that health is important. You are working here. If you are not well, you won't be able to come to work. And in Ghana, for many, many years, we have focused on infectious disease. But actually, as Prof mentioned, there is also a growing burden of non-communicable diseases. And if it hasn't affected you, it has affected somebody you know. So it is important for everybody to engage with this issue. And I'm hoping that the fact that health is important. How do they say it in Chi?
Oh, dear.
So it's really important for everybody to find out how are we really doing as far as our health is concerned. Then you would be able to know how well placed you are so that you would have wealth. Ghana Health Service used to have, or is it Ministry of Health? Health is wealth.
Yes.
And I think that's a good reason for us to engage with this.
Okay. So in terms of my personal remark, you asked for one, but I'm going to give you two so that the second one you put it in your pocket. The first one is, if you want to know, is that 46% of deaths in Ghana is from non-communicable disease.
46%.
Yeah, so nearly half of the deaths in Ghana is from non-communicable disease. Number two, you're a man, so I'm going to start from males. 83% of men in Ghana who are hypertensive do not know. They do not know that they are hypertensive.
Because we don't go to the hospital.
Yes,
right?
and they don't
do
check.
blood checkups,
Yes.
yeah.
And then if you go to the women are a bit better. The women is around 63% thereabout, don't know. So clearly, like you said, it's a silent epidemic. So you really need to be aware so that at least you can take steps to protect yourself. Most of these deaths are all preventable. So we really need to make progress on that front.
Right. And so I've been here talking about health. Like you mentioned, health is wealth. And so make sure you make your way to the University of Ghana come the 28th. I mean, just about 2 days from now, on Wednesday. Go there, listen some good lecture, on your health and what exactly should be done. Like you mentioned, 46% of health in women are a problem. And more than 80% of men don't even know they have the disease they have.
Yeah.
Hypertension. Quite sad and serious. And so I've been here with Professor Kwesi Tope, Dean of the School of Public Health, University of Ghana. Thank you so much for coming. And also Richard Ayiti, a professor and public health nutritionist at the University
my name.
I changed
Richmond.
Is what?
Richmond
Ayiti, forgive me. Richmond Ayiti, the professor and public health nutritionist at the University of Ghana School of Public Health, fellow of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, co-chairs national task team for implementation of national food-based dietary guidelines. That's a long one.
A long one.
Congratulations to you.